Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Live for the Relationship Communications community. My apologies that we have had some tech issues and some of our lives have not happened in the past few weeks. Hopefully, we're getting back on track with that. Again, welcome to this week's Weekly Live. I'm thrilled that you are here with me. And for those of you that may be joining for the first time, I'm Lisa DeToffol, and I'm the founder of Relationship Communications. It's my online community where I work with established and aspiring entrepreneurs. And today I'm going to be your host for the Relationship Communications Weekly Live, which is my weekly live stream show that airs every Friday at normally 1:30 p.m. Today it had to be postponed to 2 p.m. I think our new time is going to be 2 p.m. on Friday afternoons. And my goal here is to share tactical and practical information to help you get where you want to go faster than you can get on your own. I've been an entrepreneur now for 7 years, and I've made many mistakes. And I'm here to tell you that I can help you through them more quickly by sharing what I have learned through my experiences. So let me know where you're coming in from if you're joining me live. We are streaming in various different places. So if you are watching us over on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button or ring the bell so that you can be notified every time that we do go live. So today we're going to be talking about how to protect your time as an entrepreneur. Very important topic because all of us as entrepreneurs, that's one of our greatest assets, right? Is our time. But before we dive into that, I would like to introduce myself a little bit. So when I was a preschool teacher back in 2017 and 25 years prior to that, I had dreamed of working from home. But I had been through 2 messy divorces and been a single mom twice, and it didn't seem possible. I was the breadwinner of my household and a little bit scared to take that chance and go out and do anything on my own. Then in 2012, is when I could see the possibilities of my dream coming true. However, it was not an easy task. With my family's support, I started a training program, learned how to be a virtual assistant in 2018, which also showed me how to start my own business. So by the end of that program, I had a couple of clients and have continued to grow my business. And now the Tiger Eye Solution team that was established in 2021 every single year. So my life looks a little bit different than it did back then. So how to protect your time as an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about, how to protect your most valuable asset, and that is your time. As an entrepreneur, that is one of your most valuable assets. This topic is all about mindset. We all have the same amount of time in a day, correct? But it's how we use it. Any questions that you may have as I'm talking about this topic, please do add them in the chat, and I would love to answer them at the end, okay? So let's dive into the topic of time. We are at the beginning of summer, basically. So yeah, end of spring, beginning of summer, depending upon where you live, right? And we still have, some of our goals maybe that we haven't met. It's almost another month. The first half of the year will be over, right? And I know you set goals back in January. Maybe you set them for each quarter. At the end of March was the end of the first quarter. End of June will be the end of the second quarter. So maybe you have specific goals right now that you're trying to reach for quarter number 2 of the year. And you're still sitting on them. You haven't tried to take any type of action to move forward and, complete that. But my hope for you is, by the end of this year that you do reach those goals, all those things that you want to accomplish. And it's not too late. You can always just start from where you are, right? And, it can still, maybe your first half of your year hasn't been the best. You haven't reached your goals, but you still have another whole half the year to where you can still make this year better and reach some of those goals that you've been trying to reach, right? So, or maybe you're just starting your business and you're trying to get your business to take off, right? You have a job outside your business. So you have to, make sure that job gets done first, and then you're doing your business part-time on the side. That's okay too. All the things. And while I am a believer in the power of hope, I'm also a believer in making sure you put the foundation together so your business can grow. So whether you're starting right now from scratch, just starting your business, or you've been in business for a while, if you didn't put that foundation down first, you just need to stop right where you are and get that in place. Okay? Because you want your business to grow. So those foundation pieces are very, very important. And knowing what's important is not always intuitive. So I'm going to walk you through 3 things that you can put in place right now so you can take your business to the next level. Whether you're just starting it or you've been in business for a while and you're ready, to move forward. So the first thing is a dedicated workspace. What I mean by that is a place where you can set up your computer, your pens, your pencils, printer, all the things you need, and not be moving it all around. A lot of new business owners don't realize that this is such a big anchor for us. They work on the couch, they work on the dining room table, they work on their bed even, sitting in bed watching TV at night or something, all the different places. And part of focusing is having a level of comfort. When I work in my office, I know it's about business. I sit down in the same chair every day. I have my computer set up the way I need it to be set up. Everything is exactly where I need it to be in order for me to get my work done. So don't underestimate the mindset shift that will happen when you have an official place or official office space to work. The thing to know is it doesn't have to be a big room. Some people don't start with a specific office space per se, and that's okay. But you do, however, want to find that space quickly after starting your business, if you can. And if you can, also have a door for your space, a door where you can close it and have privacy if you need that. But if you can't, that's okay. You can still create a good workspace where you can concentrate and get your work done, right? When you have to move from space to space, it's distracting. Make sure your desk is big enough to spread, everything out. And I recommend multiple monitors if possible. I currently use 2, but if you can have 2 or 3 monitors, that's great. I'm sorry. So if you can upgrade to 2 to 3 monitors, that's great. I can tell that, even like the phone ringing all the time. No one calls while I'm working unless it's an emergency. They know if I'm in my office with the door closed, I'm busy working. So they don't call because they know I'm working and they know I'm committed to my business and doing my work. so that I can provide what I want to provide for my family. And distractions will take away from that, right? If I have so many distractions. So when you think about it that way, you can kind of think about it as shiny object syndrome or multitasking, and that's not going to get you to your why or in the direction you want to be going, right? I know those are just little things, but those little things can make a big difference. So keep that front and center. So you can be clear, why you do what you do, why you started your business, and be able to have the space you need to do your work and do your business. So think about that. So when you're tempted to do something that's not really important, you might think again. And again, those distractions like your friends and your family, you don't always need to respond to everything immediately. We get into a trap sometimes of thinking that we have to respond to something or something's going to happen. And it makes us uncomfortable. But leaving something undone in your business is not wise, okay? So in order to be successful, you have to learn, to be comfortable with having something undone sometimes. Because if I stop to take care of this, that, and the other, I wouldn't get much of my work done in my office, right? For my business. At the end of the day, I would much rather have a thriving business and be able to do things like go shopping with my daughter than have all the laundry done. The laundry can wait. It's not going anywhere. It's still going to be dirty the next day and still need to be washed, right? It's just a matter of priority. And sometimes, those of us that may be a little older may have been raised where the laundry is important and all the things, and you just have to jump and get it done quickly. This can be like a type A tendency, and the things that you can use, are a little bit different, and it's okay. Type A tendencies is in your favor. Just pick a different thing to focus on. Angie Porterfield has a podcast that I like, and she talks about Tiger Time. She talks about putting time on your calendar to work on your business. And she protects it as if she's a tiger protecting her cub. And that's how she thinks of it. And it's really important to do that because that's how you're going to reach your goals. That's how you're going to get to your why. Not by making sure everything is done all the time, but by making sure the right things are done and putting away the rest. Right? So we have to set aside time to work on our business as well, not just do our client work. So I would also like to invite you to the Relationship Communications community. If you're not a part of it already, head over to Facebook and just put in the search bar Relationship Communications. And it's a free community to be a part of. We do various different things throughout the week. We also do networking mixers once a month. I think the next one is going to be on May 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So maybe you can go ahead and put that on your calendar and make plans to attend. It will be really, really great to see you there. and you can interact with others. Networking is a very big piece of your business. That is a topic I talk about in the group as well on a regular basis. So if you're not networking, or if you're just starting your business, then you need to start networking for your business, okay? This might be a great place for you to start. So May 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is our next networking mixer. Also, if you are not on my email list, if you do not receive the weekly newsletters that I send out for relationship communications, please put that in the comments below, or send me a private message with your email address in it. I would love to add you to the list so that you could get those emails. I send out reminders about the networking mixer. I send out weekly emails about different things with different information in it as well. That way you will not miss anything. I hope everyone has a great Friday and a great weekend, and I will see you again soon.